Hey guys, welcome back. I am Nat from Nat's Numbers, also known as the Numerology Chick over on Instagram. So, the UPS guy's here. So, this is the second video in this series on the dark side of the numbers. And today we're going to be covering a number from my chart, the 8. So if you're an 8 life path, 8 expression number, 8 heart's desire, personality, or you're born on a day that adds down to 8, this video is for you. We're going to be talking about the top 3 things to watch out for, the top 3 shadow aspects of the 8. And I'm going to share with you the remedies so that if you notice that some of these things are coming out, some of these destructive forces, some of these things that you may do that can create suffering in your life, that you turn it around on its head and actually rise into the higher function of the 8 to produce magic and empowerment in your life. So if you are enjoying these Friday morning uploads and you really like this series, please support this work by liking, commenting, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. Thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed. We're almost to the 10,000 mark, which I'm so excited about. So I appreciate you guys so much. All right. So really quick, let me define what I mean by shadow aspect. It's actually a very elegant and beautiful concept. So in this work, what the shadow means is it means that we are simply interfering with this divine spiritual trait's job, okay? Every single number in numerology has a job to do. It's a fundamental puzzle piece or force in the universe that's here to produce some kind of result, okay? So the shadow aspect is simply when we're interfering with that, maybe when we're misunderstanding, we're misfiring with this superpower, okay? All right, so then what is the job that the 8 is here to do? So if the 8 is in your chart, it is here to produce the result of free-flowing, unlimited power, and as such, to create abundance, prosperity, and empowerment for all. The way that this result emerges of free-flowing power is via being influential. So if you have an 8 in your chart, you have probably noticed, whether you like it or not, you have a natural knack for influencing other people. You have a natural power. But here's the thing. If you don't know what to do with this, if you haven't been trained on how to use this power in a constructive way, you can easily dip into the darker side of the 8. So let's talk about this. One of the first shadow aspects of the 8, and it actually typically goes in this order, is victimhood. Okay? So if you're born with inherent power, sometimes what 8s will run into is they'll run into an authority figure who is threatened by their power. Sometimes at a very, very young age, they run into this. So you then play the role of the victim. You say, okay, it is not safe for me to step into my power. It's not safe for me to be a leader. So what I'm going to do instead is see the power in other people. This is why 8s in my private practice will come to me, and they may be in a position where they have built up their spouse's career and their spouse is making tons of money and has incredible status in society, but they don't. Or maybe they are the employee that made their boss millions of dollars. But when you play the role of the victim long enough, you become this person that feels incapable, disempowered, and dependent. Okay? Here's why victimhood doesn't work. Might be obvious to you, but let's just put words to it. Victimhood doesn't work because remember, the result that the 8 is trying to produce is free-flowing power. If you give your power away, then what ends up happening is you are in the victim or subordinate position, and you can only create what other people create. You don't have a say over the amount of abundance, the amount of prosperity, or the particular flavor of that that's coming into your life. You know, you got to be able to create what you want to create to access free-flowing power. So when you step into the role of victim, when you give your power away, when you see the capability of everyone but yourself, you never tap into true power. You're limited, you're stuck, you're dependent. So if you play the victim long enough, then you will dive into the second level of the shadow aspect of the 8, and that's materialism. So that's when you become an obsessive, addictive, single-focused person who's focusing on material things or the material world to the exclusion of other values. So this might be where you are focusing on getting the house, getting the fancy car, trying to focus on getting that amount of money in your account or landing that big promotion. But you become so single focused on this that you forget the reason why you wanted those things in the first place, like the deeper fundamental why that was driving you, okay? The reason why materialism, or focusing on manifesting physical things only, doesn't work is because physical stuff is not the root source of power. It's not where free-flowing power comes from. Physical stuff is a byproduct of tapping into free-flowing power, but it is not the cause. It is not the source. So eights will learn this over and over again. They'll forget over and over again. You know, they'll be goal-oriented and say, oh, but it's about the car, or it's about the amount in my bank account. Every time that you do this, you will feel incredibly unsatisfied. So if you tap into the role of the victim long enough, if you don't see your own capability to accomplish and achieve and create what you want, if you then tap into materialism and focus only on the acquisition of goods, resources, or status, invariably what ends up happening is the deeper, darker aspect of the eight, and that is domination and corruption. Yeah, it's kind of dark. This is where we actually focus on meeting the goal above all else. We are willing to dominate and overpower other people. We believe that everything is a means to an end. This is really bad news. Okay? Power over others, power over the physical world, dominating others doesn't produce the result of free-flowing power. It's actually an affirmation that free-flowing power doesn't exist, right? Martha Stewart is a great example of this. She built this incredible empire based on a passion, but she forgot. She forgot when she was in it, and she went to prison because she cheated her way to get more money. She was caught. So misusing power, dominating others, pushing other people out of the way so that you can just get to the gold, doesn't tap into free-flowing power. It actually does the opposite. And eights will continually have that experience, the fall from the tower, over and over again until they get this lesson. So what is the remedy? If you find yourself taking on the role of the victim, or you find yourself stuck in materialism, we all do, or if you find yourself even being corrupt with power, dominating others, trying to have power over others so you can feel better and bigger, here's the remedy. First, in my private practice, we do a ton of work on taking back your power, on affirming, I am a powerful, capable creator, and I choose to accomplish what I want. It's very important to affirm over and over again that you are a powerful creator, that with your cosmic best friend, the two of you can create and accomplish what it is that's on your heart to create. But this segues into probably the even more powerful remedy. Eights are actually very spiritual people when they're in their natural state. Okay? The eight comes after the seven. The seven is about spirituality, deeper meaning, the understructure of things, why things are the way that they are. The eight comes after that. The eight is boosted by that. Eights are naturally connected to spiritual principles, but they forget. You have to tap in to the non-physical values that are driving the product, the service, the business, or the goal. So whether that is because you want to empower yourself and others, because you believe in love above all else, because you want to help lift people up out of poverty, whatever it is, whatever is the deeper non-physical value, you have to presence that. You have to write it down. You have to allow that to be your North Star. Have that be your goal. Have that be the thing that you are standing up for. And when you do this, you will naturally and effortlessly rise out of these lower functions, out of these shadow aspects. So, I want to hear from all my other eights out there. raise your hand and let me know below in the comments section which one of these 3 things have you experienced, which one of them is the most confronting. And if you have any questions on this 8 concept, on the shadow side of the 8, or the remedy, I would love to hear them for future videos. And I want to hear also from you guys, what are your remedies for rising into free-flowing abundance? What are your remedies for tapping into free-flowing power? I would love all of us 8s to brainstorm below. Okay, thank you so much for being here with me. I cannot wait to upload the next video on the next dark or shadow side of a number, and I'll see you guys next Friday morning.